Hi, everyone. This is Mr. Hoffman, and I am going to briefly show you how we are going to use flat.io for the I Can Compose rhythm assignment. Now, this is part one of the I Can Compose assignment, and we will also add I Can Compose melody to our final product for this part of the assignment, starting the week of Thanksgiving, and then we will finish it up the week after. So, to get started, you'll find the assignment in Google Classroom. I went ahead and found it on the classwork page. You may also be able to see it on the stream page, but go ahead and click on that, and then you will see a link. And at that link on the bottom, that is where you will find the assignment. You can take some time to read the instructions here. Pause the video now and read it, or read it on Google Classroom yourself. Moving on, you are going to click this this button down here that has the link. It says Start Assignment Flat for E, which is, of course, saying Flat for Education. And you're going to go ahead and click on that. Now, when you first get started with the assignment, when you first start to work on it, you will actually see that it does not come up with this page right away. It actually will come up with a different page that asks you to sign in. So let me show you what that is all about real quick. All right, so as mentioned, you will see something slightly different when you open it for the first time. When you click the link in Google Classroom, it will come up with a page that says sign in to Antonia Pantoja Charter School. And there should be just one option, sign in with Google. If there are more, just ignore them, but click sign in with Google. And then you will have to select your account. So click on your account, or you may have to type in your username and password. Once you do that, it will ask you for access to your Google account. It needs certain permissions in order to work properly. You will need to give it those permissions. Scroll down to the bottom of that little window and then click allow, a blue allow button. I believe on yours, it may look ever so slightly different at the bottom. The blue allow button will be a little bit bigger and a little bit closer to the middle. But either way, go ahead and click that, and then you'll get to a page that looks like this. Now that you've done that, you're going to go ahead and click Start Assignment. And the name that it, or the title that it puts in there for you will be just fine. I am going to just adjust mine real quick, but you shouldn't need to adjust anything. Go ahead and click the green Next button. And then you get to a screen where you have to select the instruments to put in. We are going to select the claves, and we can do that by clicking on the percussion category. And you'll see that this menu drops down with lots of different options. And you can go ahead and click on claves in that list. If you make a mistake and click an instrument that you don't mean to put in, you can click the minus button next to it, or you can click the X under instruments selected next to that instrument. The other way you can find the instrument is by clicking in this search bar right here where it says search for an instrument, and I can type the name of the instrument, CLAVES, and go ahead and click on it. Once you have claves selected, just click that green Create Score button. And this is the page that you should start with. From here on out, you are going to be copying the first 4 measures of this rhythm that I give you. Let's take a look. It starts out with 4 quarter rests. The quarter rests are these squiggly guys. Then there are 4 of them. We can see that it says claves next to the 1-line staff. And instead of a treble clef, there are these 2 thick black lines that are right here. And of course, there is a time signature 4/4. To add a note, all I need to do is hover my mouse over the staff above this green thing shows me which beat I have selected. I'm going to go ahead and hover my mouse over until I see that green circle. And when I see that, I can click and it puts in the note. Notice that it also automatically moves to the next available space, the next available rest or the next beat. I can, if I need to delete a note that I've put in, I can use the backspace key on my keyboard. And I may have to press that once or twice to get it to go. I can also put in a key or put in a note by typing the A key on my keyboard. This is good so far, but if I want to add more notes and change what kind of note I have, then I am going to need to select a different kind of note in the note toolbar. Right now I have quarter note selected. You can see if I hover over it, it says quarter. If instead I click on eighth, notice that that second beat there changed into eighth rests instead of a quarter rest. And now if I put in two notes, it will come up with beamed eighth notes or do day, as we have been saying. And as always, it advances to the next beat. Notice that when I just put in one eighth note, it has the flag that we've talked about that lets us know it's less than one beat. But when I add in a second eighth note next to it, that is now a beamed eighth note, and together those take up one beat. I'm going to change back to quarter now by going to my notes toolbar, but I notice that there's a number next to quarter when I hover over it in the notes toolbar. That number is 3. If I type the 3 key on my keyboard, that 3 key will change whatever is selected to a quarter note. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 of them now. This is a good start. I'm going to change now to eighth notes by typing the 4 key on my keyboard. You can see that it says 4 next to eighth. Notice again that the quarter rest now changes to eighth rest to show me that it's ready for eighth notes. And I'm going to add in 4 eighth notes in a row, 2 at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I am in the middle of the measure and I have eighth selected, and I want to change back to quarters for the last 2 beats. So I pressed 3 on my keyboard and I'm going to press A and A again to fill up the measure. Notice that when you do fill up a measure all the way, it will automatically go to the, or it will automatically create a new empty measure for you to put more notes in or to leave blank, up to you. But in this case, we are going to fill it up. There's one more type of note that I'd like you to use that we haven't used yet, which is the half note. Sometimes we will say do, like do for quarter note, but longer because a half note is 2 beats. I'm going to change to halves by clicking up here in the notes toolbar. I can also press the 2 key on my keyboard, and I'm going to add in a half note by pressing A. Once again, notice that the next beat was automatically selected and it actually changed to the type of note that I have selected. I want to have eighth notes here instead. So I pressed 4 to change to eighth notes. And I pressed A twice to put in 2 of them. And now I want a quarter note on the last beat. So I pressed 3 in my keyboard and A to add another note. For the last measure of what you're going to copy, I'm going to change to eighth note, put in 2, change to quarters, put in 1, change back to eighths, put in 2, and then change back to quarters and put in 1. This is what you should have when you are finished copying this rhythm. Take some time to do that now. Now that you have done that, you are going to add 3 new empty measures to the end of this piece so that you have room to make some choices of your own when it comes to composing. Composing really is just making musical choices. To do that, I'm going to make sure I have something in measure 5 selected. And if I don't, for example, if I'm over here, I can use my arrow keys on my keyboard to move forward or back. Once I have measure 5 selected, I'm going to click on the measure toolbar, which is next to note, and I am going to find this second button. It says insert measure after. I'm going to click that button 3 times so that I have 4 blank measures. And now I can go back to the notes toolbar and enter in whatever I would like. You can make your own choices of whether you put in do, due day, do, or leave a quarter rest in sh. Either way, you're going to fill up these measures with notes, do, due day, and do, or rests sh, until you have 8 full measures of music. The first 4 will look like this in the top. Oops. And the next 4 will be your own choices. When you have finished putting in this new rhythm, you're going to go to the text toolbar and select lyrics. From there, you are going to put in do and due day for all of the notes. When you finish typing under a note, press the space bar to move to the next one. And of course, you will continue on with the next 4 measures because you will have your own rhythm in there. That's all for now. Thanks so much. And let me know if you have any questions. Bye.